everyone, Maya here from MaiStoryBook, and I am so excited today to be sharing the last interactive read aloud in this month's Asian American Pacific Islander Read Aloud Initiative lineup. Oh my goodness, my friends, I have had so much fun reading along with you every weekday this month, sharing a new Asian American or Pacific Islander story with you. I hope that you've enjoyed it too, and I can't believe that this month is already over. Of course, I will always keep sharing more stories and more Asian American Pacific Islander books throughout the year, but this month has been especially special to share all of these reads and to share Asian voices with all of you. Well, today I have a very special read to end the month, a read all about love. So I wanted to end the month with a little message of sharing love with each other, with our family, with our friends, with our community, with the world. A great message to share and to send off and end the month with about really caring for each other in ways to show our love to others. Now, what's really special about today's read aloud is that you are getting a super special sneak peek into this book, because guess what, my friends? This book has not even been published yet. That means that you cannot even find this book in the stores yet. This book actually does not come out in the bookstores until September of this year. So we are getting to read this book before it's even published, made into a real book. You might even notice up here it says uncorrected advanced reader copy, which means that this copy isn't ready yet for selling in the stores. They might read through it and maybe even change a couple words or two, but we are getting a sneak peek of it before it even goes out. So thank you so much to West Margin Press for sharing this sneak peek with us and letting us end our month of read alouds with this special story about love. All right, well, I think we are ready to get started then. Aren't you just so excited? Double thumbs up if you're super excited. Awesome. Let's begin. The title of today's interactive read aloud is Where Thuong Keeps Love, written by Thu Buu and illustrated by Bao Luu. So that means that Thu Buu is the author, so she wrote all the words, and the illustrator does what? Draws all the pictures in our story. If I look here where Thuong keeps love, Thuong is actually a Vietnamese word. This book is about a Vietnamese girl. Thuong is actually the Vietnamese word for love. To say love in Vietnamese, you can say Thuong. You try, my friends. Thuong. That's how you say love in Vietnamese. So this book is Where Thuong Keeps Love. So this little girl named Thuong, which means love in Vietnamese, it's going to be about where she keeps her love. My friends, where do you keep your love? Yeah, I know. I wonder what they mean about that, where you keep your love. Well, before we get started, what do you notice going on the cover? Right. I see a little girl. This must be Thuong, and she's got her hands over her heart. Maybe that's where she keeps her love in her heart. And she's standing, what's the setting of this story? Where it's taking place, or where is she right now? Looks like she's in a vegetable garden, right? I see some tomatoes, some zucchinis or squash. Well, let's go ahead and see, where does Thuong keep love? So here's our title page. It has the title of our book, Where Thuong Keeps Love, our author and illustrator, our publisher down here, West Margin Press. Huge thank you to them for sharing this book with us. Thuong has something very special, and she's been looking for the perfect place to keep it safe. My friends, do you have a special hiding spot where you keep really special things to you? That sounds like a good place. So she's looking for the perfect place to keep it safe. I'll ask my friends at school, Thuong thought to herself. She swung her backpack over one shoulder, threaded both arms through the straps, and stepped out the front door. So off she is to school. That's good. If you need advice, sometimes you can ask your friends. Walking across the blacktop, Thuong spotted her friend Nay headed in the same direction toward their classroom. Skipping up to him, Thuong asked, Nay, where do you keep love for your parents? Oh, so she has some love for her parents, mom and dad and her family, and she's asking, where do you keep your love for them? Nay closed his eyes and thought for a moment. He answered, I keep it in my head. Oh. In your head? Repeated Thuong curiously. Nay nodded confidently. When I try my best, even when something's hard and I learn new things, When I try my best, even when something's hard, I learn new things, and that makes my parents happy. Mine too, Thuong said. Oh, so Nay picked his head because when he learns new things, that makes his parents happy, and that's one way parents show love, is by being happy, right? Well, my friends, where do you keep your love for your parents in your family? Oh. Sitting on the swing next to her friend Lily at recess, Thuong called out, Lily, where do you keep love for your parents? Lily started swinging higher, pumping her legs back and forth. I keep it in my voice, she yelled back. In your voice, repeated Thuong as loudly as she could. Whenever I say, I love you, Daddy, I know Daddy is happy. Mine too, Thuong shouted with delight. So she shares her love by using her voice and saying it out loud, right? I love you, Daddy. I love you, Mommy. I love you, Grandma, Auntie, whoever is in your family. So she uses her voice, Nay uses his head, and Thuong is trying to get some ideas. Where should she keep her love for her family? When Thuong and Lily arrived at the lunch table, Carlos was using the end of his burrito to count the golden mini samosas Nay had in his container. Carlos eating his burrito. Nay over here has his samosas. They all have different things to eat for lunch. Yum. Usually, Thuong would bring last night's delicious leftovers like fried rice, stir-fried noodles, or sweet rice and chicken, but not today. Today, the cafeteria served corn dogs and chocolate milk. Thuong loved corn dogs, especially with ketchup. So sometimes she brings food from home, and sometimes she eats what the cafeteria has. Do you like corn dogs? So there they all are enjoying their lunch. Thuong took a big bite and swallowed. She then asked, Carlos, where do you keep love for your parents? Carlos wiped his mouth with the back of his hand and saying, I keep it in my tummy. Ooh. In your tummy, repeated Thuong with a chuckle. An image of Carlos and his family swimming in a pool of chocolate milk popped into her head. Oh. Wow, imagine swimming in chocolate milk. What do you think about that? Be kind of fun, right? Maybe you could drink the water or milk. Carlos rubbed his tummy and explained, when I eat all the veggies on my dinner plate without complaining, my mom is happy. Mine too, said Thuong, but I eat my dinner in a bowl, she added. So at home, she eats her dinner from a bowl. Some people might use plates. How do you eat your food, my friends, with a bowl or a plate? And does your mama or dad or whoever's in your family also get happy if you eat all your vegetables? Usually, right? The last bell rang. School is over. Walking out of the classroom behind Janisha, Thuong asked, Janisha, where do you keep love for your parents? Janisha looked quietly at the ground for a moment and then answered, I keep it in my heart. In your heart? Repeated Thuong softly. Janisha clasped both hands over her heart. Yes, every time we do fun things together, my heart is so happy. Me too, said Thuong, remembering the fun her family had walking around the neighborhood just the night before. When you do fun things with your family, does your heart feel happy? Yeah. Stepping through the front gates of the school, Thuong spotted Ba waving at her. So Ba is how you say dad in Vietnamese. She broke into a wide grin and skipped toward him. This was her favorite time of day, when she and her dad walked home together hand in hand. As usual, Thuong began telling Ba about her day. It's always fun to tell your family all about your school day because you haven't seen them all day, right? What is one thing that you would tell your family about your day today? Ooh, you should definitely share that. Sounds super interesting. Today, Thuong noticed how her dad slightly leaned his ear towards her, listening to every word she said. Oh, I see. Ba keeps his love for me in his ears, she thought to herself. When you listen to people, that's one way to show love, that you care about what they're saying. Their walk home seemed especially short today. She had only just begun describing the yellow dandelions they picked at recess when Ba pulled the latch to open the door to their backyard. Hi, Thuong, greeted Mea, waving her hand. Mea is how you say mom in Vietnamese. Did anything new happen at school today, Gong? Asked Ong as he gestured her over. Oh, so there's Grandma, Grandpa. Gong is what you call a younger one in Vietnamese. Hi, Ong Mea, Thuong replied. She hopped over to the vegetable garden and gave her grandparents each a hug as she retold the dandelion story. So she looks like she lives with her mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Ong stooped down and gathered a bunch of freshly pulled carrots with bits of dirt still hanging off their root. while Matt filled the holes that were left behind. Ma's cooking your favorite tonight, chicken and vegetable stew. These carrots will make it even sweeter and tastier, Matt said. Thuong felt her heart leap with joy. Oh, may I keep their love for me in the palms of their hands every time they tend our vegetable garden, she thought. So you can keep love in your hands when you're making things for people you love and growing things? Around dinner time, a delicious smell wafted into the living room. Thuong followed her nose into the kitchen where she found her mom stirring a pot of stew. Ma gently lifted her face above the pot and drew in a deep, slow breath. I think this just needs a little more salt and then it'll be perfect. Exactly how you like it, Thuong, Ma said with a smile. Thuong smelled her mom's love rise with each tendril of steam. She smiled back, her heart full of happiness. Ma keeps her love for me in her nose when she cooks our dinner each night, she thought, making sure it smells good and tastes good for the one she loves. Thuong thought about where her friends keep love for their families and where her family keeps love for her. A smile spread across her face. My friends, can you remember what did all these different people say, or where did each of these different people keep love? Let's see. What did May say? Love is in your head. Janisha thought it was in her heart. Lily thinks love is from her voice. Carlos said, to me. Matt thought it was from their hands when they grow things. Ba from his ears. Ma from her nose, smelling it. Before Thuong went to bed, she walked up to her parents and expressed her love the best way she knew how, through a game she used to play with her parents when she was learning to speak her first words. Thuong reached up, tapped her head, then bent down and tapped her toes, saying, Ba ơi, ma ơi, con thương ba mà, để từ trên đầu xuống đến dưới chân. In Vietnamese, that means, Daddy, Mommy, I love you, and I keep my love for you on the top of my head, all the way down to the tips of my toes. That is a great place to keep love all over your body, right? Thuong's parents smiled, holding her tightly. Together they said, Ba ma cũng thương con, để từ trên đầu xuống đến dưới chân. So that means we also love you, honey, and we keep our love for you on the top of our heads, all the way down to the tips of our toes. So they also loved Thuong with their whole entire body. That night, Thuong went to bed very happy. She had found the perfect place to keep her very special something safe and sound, always and forever. So she's going to keep her love where? From the tip of her head all the way down to the tips of her toes. What a safe place to keep love for your family, right? So, my friends, if someone asked you, where do you keep your love for your parents, what would you say now? Same thing, or maybe you changed it a little bit. The end. Here, the author has a note about some different Vietnamese words. Also, here, there is a song you can sing in Vietnamese about how much you love your mom, or you can change mom to the word dad or someone else. There you go. If you wanted to pause and check it out, you could. Otherwise, my friends, that brings us to the end of this Read Aloud. What a sweet story of love, thinking about all the ways that you can show and share love with different parts of your body or different actions. You can show love by cooking, by growing plants for people you love, by eating food that they cook, by telling them you love them, by doing things that will make them happy. My friends, how do you show love to someone else? Not just where you keep it. How do you show them you love them? What things do you do? Those are very lovely things. All right, my friends. Well, what was one of your favorite parts of this story? Well, my favorite parts of the story is when she asked all her friends, and I love just hearing all of her friends give different answers about where they keep their love and how each answer was really special to them and how Thuong really loved each of the answers that they shared too. All right, friends, so one thing that I have loved so much this month, again, is sharing all these stories with you, sharing these Asian voices and these stories that share different cultures and different stories from different places in Asia and in the Pacific Islands. So thank you so much, my friends, for joining me this whole entire month. If you have any books that you'd love for me to read aloud, or recommendations or stories you want to hear or questions you want to ask me, please reach out to me on all my social media channels. You can find them here linked down below. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, All of those social media links can be found down there. Check me out on the blog for more reading resources and some crafts that go along with these stories. Again, I will be having new read alouds in June coming out, so please stay tuned for those. But otherwise, thank you so much for reading and watching along. If you enjoyed today's read aloud and would like to interact with more interactive read alouds, please be sure to subscribe to my Storybook YouTube channel by clicking on that subscribe button. Otherwise, my friends, thank you again for joining us. I hope you've had a wonderful May. I hope you've enjoyed all of these stories. And until next time, happy reading.